growing. The bitter harvest. The great irony of Eve's knowledge was that she knew the difference between good and evil, but she could not eradicate the evil that took root in her own children. Cain, the firstborn, was a man of the earth, stubborn and possessive of the soil that required his sweat. Abel, the younger, was a shepherd, content in the quiet contemplation of his flocks. They were the world's first opposites. The conflict began, as all sin does, with envy. They brought offerings to the Creator, Cain, the fruit of his grueling labor, the bitter harvest of the cursed ground, Abel, the firstborn of his flock, rich with fat and blood. When the voice acknowledged Abel's offering, the one given with the heart of sacrifice and trust, and looked away from Cain's, the wrath in Cain's heart was a physical presence. Eve saw the change in her son. His face, usually ruddy from the sun, was fallen and dark. She tried to warn him, speaking from her own experience, Cain, the desire for destruction is waiting at the door of your heart. You must master it, or it will master you. But Cain, heir to Adam's self-preservation and Eve's painful self-awareness, could not be mastered by his mother's answer. The two brothers went out to the field, the place of Cain's toil. Eve watched them walk away, a familiar fear twisting in her gut, the same fear she had felt when she first looked at Adam and saw his vulnerability. When Cain returned alone, his hands were red, not with the soil, but with the warm, terrible stain of his brother's life. The voice descended again, asking the most wrenching question of all, "Where is Abel, your brother?" Cain's defiant, chilling answer, "Am I my brother's keeper?" was the echo of Adam's earlier blame but magnified by murder. Eve rushed to the field. There, on the hard, cursed ground, lay the lifeless body of her son, Abel. His name, Vapor, had proven tragically prophetic. She collapsed, not in the physical agony of childbirth, but in the spiritual agony of a mother who had brought death into the world, only to have it consume her own child. This was the true taste of dying, the separation from life, violent and irreversible, inflicted by her own flesh. It was a wound that only time, the one commodity of their exile, could attempt to dull. Many generations passed. The world filled with their descendants, the fierce, wandering tribe of Cain, and the faithful, struggling line of Adam. Eve's hair was now white, her skin etched with the centuries of sun and sorrow, but her eyes retained the brilliant, unsettling clarity of the fruit. She was the matriarch of all humanity, the keeper of the most vital memory. In her final years, Eve was blessed with another son, whom she named Seth, appointed. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. In Seth, she saw not the replacement for what was lost, but the quiet, enduring hope of the future. He was born after the trauma, a deliberate act of grace that affirmed her name, Chowa, the life-giver, even in the shadow of death. She would often sit with her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, not as a penitent, but as a sage. She did not hide the story of the garden, she told it, vividly, honestly. She described the perfection they had lost, the lightness of life without labor, and the devastating choice she had made. I gave you the knowledge, she would tell them, touching their faces with hands that had known both perfect soil and bloody dirt. I opened the door to suffering, yes, but I also opened the door to choice, to courage, and to a love that is stronger than fear. Now you can choose the good, not from innocent blindness, but from informed will. That choice, your choice, is the greatest victory over the serpent. Her life, lived long and hard outside the gates of Eden, was the ultimate testament to human endurance. She had received a destiny of pain and lived a life of profound purpose. When her long life finally drew to a close, and Adam, her bone and her flesh, mourned her loss, Eve left the world knowing the full measure of what it meant to be human, to be born of perfection, to fall into complexity, and to generate an endless, hopeful line of life against the inevitability of the dust. Her curse was her crowning glory, for she was the mother of all who live. If this story resonated with you, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, Mrs. Evelyn Sampson TV, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. We encourage you to share your thoughts and your own stories of patience and faith in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep growing. Please let us know what next video you want to see here. Please subscribe to my channel, Mrs. Evelyn Sampson TV. Thank you for watching.